played Ohio State for the national championship after we had done the same thing against Oklahoma and Texas. The boys came out and they would drop back. We couldn't press. The best defense in basketball is a press all over the court, man to man. But with tall men, you can't do that. So we would drop back. Our zone. So instead of cutting and trying to break through it, they would stand on the perimeter and shoot long shots. When we got the ball, either after a goal or an interception or a rebound, we always tried the fast break, every time.
When our coach called us to tell us that we'd been invited to go to the NCAA, we had never heard of the NCAA. We didn't want to go to the NCAA. The state basketball tournament of Ohio was the next week, and we wanted to go see the state tournament.
The championship trophy was on top of the writer's table at mid-court. And at one point in the game, Bobby Annett, our captain, was going for a loose ball near the edge of the court, dove for it, and went right over the top of the table, hit the trophy, clipped there was a small figure of a man, a basketball player, on top of the trophy, clipped it right off, broke the trophy, so that later when, after we'd won and they presented the trophy to us, they had to present it to us holding the figure of the man on top.
You played a regional tournament and established the champion between, let us say, the Midwest and the West. Then that team played in the final game of the NC2A. In 1940, that was the second year of the NC2A, and the finalists happened to be Indiana University and the University of Kansas. So that was the only game.
1941, my junior year, we won the conference, the Rocky Mountain Conference, and it was a very simple form in those days. The 4 teams played in the West, met in Kansas City, and 4 teams had a playoff in the East, and then the winner of the East met the winner of the West for the national championship.
Over 7,200 fans here tonight in Kansas City, where Eastern champion Wisconsin meets the Kings of the West, the Washington State Cougars. Here's a pass into Gene England. He scores. Badger coach Bud Foster receives the championship award.
Stanford in the forecourt against Dartmouth's man-to-man defense. Howie Delmar with the ball, top of the key. He scores. The Indians with a big lead. Working with the ball is Delmar, way out there.
That's right, and we had George Mikan in there, and they had a young fella that played against him, and I remember so vividly now because the day after the tournament, we took a walk. We asked George where he went the day of the game. He walked about 8-9 miles sightseeing in New York, and he walked us right out of the tournament.
We thought we'd had a good year. Didn't play well in what we thought was our final game, and we were sitting around being disappointed when the phone call came that Arkansas, on their way to the tournament in Kansas City, had been in a car wreck. And as I remember, one of their players was killed and several were injured, and they asked us if we'd take their place.
Utah leads by 2 with 10 seconds to play. Here's a bad pass, picked off by Murphy, over to McGuire, a long one, he hits! It's overtime! This young Utah team already played in the NIT, Dartmouth in the championship game for the second year. Arnie Ferrin at the line, score tied. Arnie again. Score tied, just seconds left in overtime. Jump ball controlled by the Utes. Over it goes to Arnie, back to Herb Wilkinson, long one, he got it!
The people in the 40s, the Mikans, myself, and others, presented the information or the knowledge that if you took a big kid early in his life and started to train him, that he could play basketball.
In that particular time, I think we had much interest as we have right now in basketball. We had that same interest in the East, especially in the Garden, especially in New York City. Now, most of our games were played in Kansas City in that tournament. From Kansas City, then we come into New York to play.
Aggies working that delivered offense. Williams to Hankins. Over it goes to Parks. Now to Weldon Kern. Looking into the big guy in the middle, into Kurland. Ooh, he's fouled. Kurland, Aggies lead. Kurland and Dolph Shays in the jump ball. Aggies control the tip. Moving it around the outside. Looking into Kurland. There he gets it. He hooks. He misses. Goes after it. Sticks it back. Dolph Shays. New York University down by 4. This may be their last chance. Shays with the ball. A bounce pass. Stolen by the Aggies.
The mystery had gone out of it. We weren't little boys anymore. We were very deliberate in our actions in the 45-46 season, and we had as our goal to repeat and win the NCAA championship.
Because it was the first team in the United States that ever played back-to-back and won the national, and we did in 45 and 46.
Here's sophomore George Captain of Holy Cross. The senior center of the Sooners, Gerald Tucker. Sooners working the ball. Landon behind the back pass to Tucker. He's fouled. What a pass. Score tied. Tucker with the charity. Jump ball over to Captain. Holy Cross leads. Crusaders in control now. Over to Offering. Long one. Crusaders win. The East is back on top.
Kentucky's had a great tradition almost as long as I can remember. Adolph Rupp came here in 1930 and began building that tradition.
We had Alex Groves at center, and you don't have to apologize for him for a center. We had a kid by the name of Barker. I just wanted to pass and build and do. He'd shoot once in a while when he felt like it. He was an excellent defensive man. And on the other side, we had Jones, a boy from up here in the mountains that stood about 6'5", weighed about 210 pounds. He was a tremendous rebounder. I also had on there Ralph Beard. If you stopped him, you hurt us tremendously. Rollins at guard in the game against Holy Cross in Madison Square Garden. He guarded Cousy, and he held Cousy to no field goals.
Kentucky just about to wrap up its first ever NCAA tournament championship. And that's it! The Wildcats are the national champions! Folks are starting to call this team the Fabulous Five. There's Alex Groves, the MVP.
Well, AP's brand new basketball poll had Kentucky #1 this year, and the Wildcats certainly proved them right. Oklahoma A&M with the ball, but it's all over. Kentucky wins its second straight NCAA title. Well, it was two of the greatest, Adolph Rupp against Henry Iba, and the second straight Most Valuable Player award for Alex Groves.
The NIT in New York was a much bigger tournament, and the schools, I know we did it early, that we had a choice of going to the NIT or the NCAA. We went to the NIT because it was more lucrative. It seemed to have more prestige. But then the NCAA just began building and building and building.
CCNY passes it in against Bradley. There it goes to Al Roth. A layup, he scores. Braves play the ball in over to Gene Melchiori. Little guy drives to the left side, misses a reverse. Picked up by Schlickman, back to Melchiori. Scoop is up, good. Nat Holman's Beavers on the threshold of their first NCAA tournament title. It's over, they've done it. CCNY wins the crown, 71-68.
The University of Kentucky had won an NCAA championship in 1948. The next year they won another NCAA championship in 1949. And then I came to school and we won it in 51. So 3 out of 4 years Kentucky won the NCAA basketball championship.
Kansas State and Kentucky battling for the rebound, comes off. Spivey gets it, fighting free, turns, spins, long pass down court to Hagan, wide open layup. Frank Ramsey pounds down court, the little playmaker looking for an opening, goes to the middle over to Watson for the jumper. A little bit of bluegrass heaven to be a Kentucky basketball fan these days. 3 national titles for the Wildcats and for Adolph Rupp.
They just love to play basketball. Bill Hoagland, Lynn Hart, Kenny, those guys, and we did everything together. We went every place together. It was like a big family, and Fogg was the head of the family.
Come on, boys, this is it. Let's go. Come on. Let's go. Clyde Lovellette. St. John's having a tough time with Kansas tonight. Peterson over to Ronnie McGilvray. Little guy around the key, breaks to the baseline, goes under, spins for 2. Jayhawks running the play. Lenhard with the ball over to Hoagland to the top of the key into Lovellette. There's that hook. Mark it up. The Jayhawks are on their way to the national title. Dean Kelly fires and misses. Clyde has the rebound. It's short. Goes again. 2.
We did win rather easily. I remember I got to play the last 29 seconds.
All right, boys. This is going to be the toughest season a University of Kansas team has ever faced. I know it. I've been here a long time. I've seen them come and go. And I just tell you, you're carrying a terrific load on account of last year's great NCAA champion.
Al Kelly at the free throw line. Fogg Allen of the Jayhawks and Branch McCracken of Indiana coached against each other in the 1940 NCAA title game. Bobby Leonard up court for Indiana. Gets it into Don Schlund on the post. The big guy scoops, and it's 2. Free throws in there. Hoosiers lead by 3. Less than 2 minutes to play in the ball game. Leonard over to Charlie Kroc. Kroc looking him over. Goes to the top of the circle. Cuts up the middle. There's a collision. Uh-oh, he throws the ball. That's a technical. KU can make up ground at the free throw line. Patterson misses. Patterson could cut it to 2. He does. Al Kelly shoots the technical. Down by 2, Kansas plays the ball in. Off to Jerry Alberts on the split post. To Dean Kelly, a running layup. The score is tied, Indiana with the basketball. Bob Leonard trying to work inside, goes to the paint. He drives, he's fouled. All on the line right here. Leonard misses. Again, IU on top. Only seconds left. Last chance for Kansas. Over to Jerry Alberts. Long one, no good. Game is over. Indiana wins. Branch McCracken beats Fogg Allen again.
Basketball changed right here with 1953. That basketball all of a sudden had 2 attacking forces. Naturally, the offense has always attacked the defense to score points. But now we had an attacking defense that said, hey, wait a minute, offense.
The 53-54 season, we had won the Middle Atlantic Conference, and we were told that we had to represent the conference in the NCAA playoffs. So we went to the NCAA playoffs, and we were fortunate because Bob Petty got knocked out. We happened to beat Fordham in the last 6 seconds, and Kentucky had 3 ineligible players, and we had lost to Kentucky by 13 points down at their home court, and we were just lucky.
LaSalle bringing the ball up court. They all like to touch it. They really pass it around. Over it goes to O'Hara, to O'Malley, to Blatcher. A long shot misses. Gola. Bradley under real pressure trying to move the ball in the forecourt against LaSalle. There's a pass deflected by Gola. Stolen by the Explorers. Long down court pass to Singley. Feed to O'Hara. LaSalle closing in on the NCAA championship. Still handling that ball beautifully. Off to Singley. Singley on the side. Long jumper. No good. Gola rebounds.
We were a ragtag team called the San Francisco Dons. And a skinny guy in the middle who couldn't shoot, but he had this long arm that come out of nowhere, block a shot.
Bill Russell was probably the biggest player in college at the time. You know, you hear stories that he was like 6'7", 6'8". He was a good 6'9" or 6'10" when we played against him. And in the pros, when Bill Russell played, he was darn close to 7 feet because he hunched over it a little time. And but he was a dominating force in the pivot. He could offensively goaltend, which was allowed in those days, and he had quite an advantage over us.
If he put Russell on Tom Gola, who was the LaSalle center, then Tom Gola would be outside. He'd be a guard. He'd be a forward. He'd be driving, and that would take Russell away from the basket. So the idea was to put me on Tom Gola, and even though he'd take me down low, Russell would be in the area.
Perry to Buchanan, to K.C. Jones. Long two. LaSalle trying to fight back. Gola up the middle. He got it. K.C. Jones up floor for the Dons, who's come out of nowhere. Beautiful ball handling. Off to Jerry Mullen. 15-footer. No good. Bill Russell. An amazing year. National champs. San Francisco.
We almost went 2 years without a loss. You know, we lost that one game in UCLA that got it started. But the beauty of the thing was that we played with ease on that level. No pressure. Just went out and played hard.
Great down pressure on Carl Kane. Pass intercepted by Bolt. Over to Perry. Perry drives. Long jumper. Guided in. Russell. Ball in the corner to Bill Russell. He sweeps into the key. Hooks it high. He's got it. The Dons 55 straight.
And then in '57, I was rooming in Kansas City with Bob Spear, the head coach of the Air Force Academy. I was cheering for Kansas very much. I had helped coach the seniors on that Kansas team when they were freshmen, and Coach Dick Harp was the coach.
North Carolina inbounds the ball. Cunningham has the ball deep. Shot is up. Shot misses. Cunningham rebounds in the corner. Cunningham turn around. He misses. King up with the ball. Regulation time. It's over. Score tied in overtime. Cunningham moves across the top, gives off to Joe Quigg. Quigg looking for Bob Young as Chamberlain comes out to guard Quigg. There's a pass to Young. Maurice King misses. Here's Young driving, scoring. Time running out in overtime. Maurice King with the basketball. Gives off to Billings. Billings down the left side to Elston. Back out to Billings. Chamberlain in the middle. Chamberlain the ball. Shoots. Score. Tie. Cunningham with the basketball. He gives off to Kearns. Kearns goes around the screen. Heads toward the right-hand corner. Puts a shot up. Chamberlain rejects. Kearns drives. Kearns shoots. Scores. North Carolina leads by 4. Pass goes to Elston into Leneski. Leneski looking for Chamberlain. Gets it into the big man. He turns. Moves into the center. Shoots. Scores. And he's fouled. Chamberlain shot good. 52-51. King at the line. Shot up. Game tied. 42 seconds left. Game tied. The ball comes in to Gene Elston. Elston back off to Parker. Parker dribbles across the top. He's looking. Gives it back off to Elston. He's in the corner. Elston starts to make a move. Goes toward the baseline. He's fouled. Elston at the line. Second shot in. Good. KU by 1. 6 seconds in overtime. KU leading by 1. Quick with the basketball. Drives for the basket. He's fouled. Tied. Up by 1. Leneski fires the ball in. Tries to get it to Chamberlain. Can't. The ball is deflected. Goes off to Kearns. Kearns with the ball. It's all over. North Carolina wins a triple overtime.
The 1958 team was really a big surprise. Coach Rupp had said early in the year that he had a Carnegie Hall schedule and a bunch of barnyard fiddlers, and they became known as the Fiddlin' Five.
Seattle's Elgin Baylor brings it down, moves off to the left side, out to the top of the circle to Francis Saunders. Saunders to Otoric. Otoric back to Saunders. He lets it fly from the outside. It rebounds off of there. Baylor taps it in. Kentucky's Vernon Hatton has it, fakes, drives for the basket, goes under, lays it in. Seattle's Charlie Brown feeds to Saunders. Saunders in the top of the key to Baylor, spins, fires, bingo. Kentucky's John Krigler brings it down, pitches the ball back to Johnny Cox, sets, fires a 20-footer. It's no good. It's tapped back to Cox. It goes into the right corner. It's in the air and good, and Kentucky pulls away.
And after the tournament was over and Kentucky had won the NCAA title, Coach Rupp said they still weren't violinists, but boy, they sure could fiddle.
Yeah, it started with a radio announcer named Dick Baker. Because Wilt had a name, Wilt of Stilton, Elgin was called the Rabbit, and he told me that he nicknamed me the Big O.
Bearcats
number 1 ranking in trouble. They're on the defense. The shot is no good. Robertson up for the rebound. Brings the ball down himself. Takes it across the center line. Since he needs a basket. Robertson to the free throw line underneath the open man. Robertson with the ball, moving toward the basket. Squaring off for that jumper. Back to the basket. He goes up. He passes underneath. A layup.
Robertson on the move. Down the right side. To the corner. Stops. Up for a jumper. True for 2.
Because sometimes the greatest teams never win.
There is a lot of luck involved, and people don't understand that about sports. They think the best team always wins. It does not.
West Virginia needs this basket. No good. Jerry West with the rebound. Yes. Game tied. Bob Smith looking for the basket. Underneath, Jerry West maneuvers clear and hits. Imhoff way outside of the perimeter. Over to Dalton. Dalton shot true. It's over. California 71. West Virginia 70.
I did not like to lose. It was painful for me to lose. And maybe the one thing that I regret in my career that I did not understand that somebody had to win and somebody had to lose.
The thing that we had to get over was some of the youth on our team. We had 3 players who started. It was the first year we'd ever played. And so there was certainly some adjustment in that particular area of our lives. But after we had played maybe 10, 12 games of the season, I think we all understood and knew that we were a special group of people, that we had unique talents, and that we may have an opportunity to do something very special.
Noel dribbles the basketball, feeds off to Havlicek. Havlicek holds high, now moves toward the middle, gives to Siegfried. Siegfried goes left with it, feeds off to Roberts. Roberts with a hook shot. It's good! Ohio State's ball. Noel off to Lucas. He one-hands the basketball, turns, shot is up, bullseye. Siegfried gets the ball off to Noel. Noel down the middle, passes off. Lucas shot up, good! He's fouled. Lucas free throw in there. California's ball, shot is up, it's no good. Ohio State has control of the game. Feed off to Noel, down to Havlicek, drives in, hands it up, and it's good. Kell brings the ball down court. Ohio State in command of this basketball game. There's a feed off, pass is stolen. Ohio State's basketball, give to Bobby Knight in for the layup. He misses, tipped up, and North's good. It's all over. Ohio State wins by 20, 75-55.
Ohio State had great athletes, and Lucas, Havlicek, and Siegfried, and Noel. They were a super basketball team. They had confidence. They had won the national championship the year before. They had won 32 in a row, and And there were many observers and coaches included that felt that we should not even show up for the ball game.
I had no idea that we belonged on the same floor with Ohio State. They had just, in my mind, reached gigantic proportions. They didn't belong in the college game, a super team, you know. But they've got an old adage: if you're supposed to beat somebody, beat them early. And we looked up, I guess, at the 8-minute mark of the first quarter, and we were, 2 or 3 points behind, and all of a sudden this little idea comes in your head, hey, maybe we could play with these guys after all.
Heavily favored Ohio State. They cannot shake Cincinnati. Cincinnati staying right in this basketball game. The feed is out top of the lane. Goes off into the corner. Siegfried has the ball bounced off. Now the pass to Lucas. Lucas up with the shot. Perfect. Cincinnati's Bobby Weisenhahn looks for the basket. Shoots. Bullseye. Feed out to Bolden. Bolden shoots. He scores. Cincinnati's come from behind, playing great ball. Feed is into Hogue. Hogue gives it back out to Yates. Long shot. Good. Cincy in command. Bolden with the basketball. Moves to the left side. Shoots. Scores. The Battle of the Ohio's is over. Cincinnati wins.
We knew how to play. We had role players on our basketball team. And some could rebound, some could dribble, some were complete ball players. But if we could play our style of basketball, take the good shot. And above all, I always told my team, always told the press or the various coaches that we have no All-Americans, but we have an All-American team.
Well, I knew every team's plays by heart. I knew every play every team was going to run. When they'd come down the floor and call out a play, I knew exactly what they were going to do. I could pass that information on to my teammates, and certainly it prepared us and made us a little better prepared defensively to do what we wanted to do.
I think basically, and I don't have any problem with it, Ohio State had the better athletes, the better basketball players. But again, I go back to Ed Jucker. I think we had the better team.
No doubt about it. This is the Ohio shootout. Yates finds Paul Hogue. Hook shot. 2. Ron Bonham in the corner. Goes right up. Yes. No. Off to Havlicek. Into Lucas with the hook. Havlicek has the ball. Down the right side. To Riesbeck, top of the lane. Gets his shot up. Hits. Another shot by Bonham, misses, rebound by Hogue, no good. Another rebound, good. 2 in a row for Cincinnati.
5th year in a row for Cincinnati to the Final Four. Thacker with the ball to Yates. Yates shot is up, blocked out of there by Loyola. Harkness with the basketball across the midcourt line. Moved to the right side, shot is up, no good, tipped in. Seconds to go, shot is up. 2-point lead, Cincinnati, down court quickly. Loyola, Harkness shoots, unbelievable! Tip to Loyola, Loyola with the ball, pass to Hunter, underneath, shot up, Harkness good. Cincinnati trying to tie. Feed goes off to Thacker. Wilson moves toward the middle. Wilson with a fine screen, underneath, good shot! Nail-biting time, 56-56. Miller with the basketball, looks toward the net, shot is up, good! Long pass, Shingleton, tied in overtime. 12 seconds to go. Loyola moves the ball toward the basket. Feed is off to Harkness. Harkness at the baseline. Shot. No, it's a pass to Hunter. Hunter's shot is up. It's no good. Ross tipped it in. Loyola wins at the buzzer. Loyola wins. Cinderella Loyola in the Final Four for the first time. They've done it.
And that was the victory for Loyola. And an unprecedented 3rd national championship was lost.
We never had a home floor, hardly at all. My first couple of years, we did play in the men's gymnasium here. But for 17 years, my first duty every day with the managers when I went to basketball practice would be to first sweep this gymnasium floor where we practiced and then mop it.
We were picked as underdog against Duke. No one gave us a chance. They had one man, 6'10", another one, 7 feet, Jay Buckley and Hack Tyson, and no one in Kansas City thought that the UCLA Bruins would win the game. And the score was 29-30 in favor of Duke.
30-29, 1-1 for Keith Erickson, 6:45 to go to the halftime. Erickson makes it good, tying it up, 30 all. Erickson's second, also good. 31-30, the Bruins back on top. Free throw missed. Rebound, McIntosh. The sophomore takes it, passes to Hazard. Hazard in front court. UCLA still by a point to the baseline. Here's Goodrich, jump shooting. Good. 33-30, that was the first for that Duke man. Here's Hazard, short range, 8-foot jump shot. No good. That's Hazard's good territory. Out it comes to Wall. Passes in the crowd underneath. Hirsch gets it up and in. The full court press is on. Ferguson checked the countdown from the Bruin fans, but here's a drive by Vasenak. A dribble drive down the right-hand side. He loses the ball on the floor. Good. Hirsch getting it away. Hirsch stealing it from him. Hazard coming up court now with 5:27. Hazard dribbling on the outside. Vasenak with him to Hirsch. Down to Kenny Washington, driving over Mullins, banking it. It's blocked, goaltending. Tyson. Here's Mullins getting by Hirsch, breaking up the press, shoots from 20 feet. Off the rim, no good. Mullins on the rebound, stolen by Hirsch. To Hazard, 2-on-2 on the break, 2-on-3, 3-on-3. Washington the trailer. Bank shot, Washington, no, he doesn't bank. And Duke hastily brings a man in. Long pass, here's 2-on-1. Tyson drives in and misses. The follow is no good, and McIntosh gets it. Oh, brother. Duke is befuddled. Here's a jumper by Goodrich. Good.
In a minute and 23 seconds, because of the 2-2-1 full court zone press, the score was 45-30 in favor of the Bruins. That was the ball game.
I wanted a program to have, and to hold a program a so size just like this out isn't handy at all. So I got the habit of rolling up. But on this program, which people didn't notice, I would have many little facts, reminders to myself. For example, on one of the things that I would always have on there, which coaches don't like to admit, but I would have the names of the poorest free throw shooters on the other team and the best ones. I would know who we'd want to play more aggressively, not foul intentionally, because we would never do that.
Michigan's basketball with UCLA in command. Leaping high, Kenny Washington. He brings the ball past midcourt. Great outside shooter. Set, shot up, good. Cazzie Russell. UCLA in command of this game. Give is to Washington. Washington into McIntosh, setting up the screen. McIntosh turns. He's being guarded very closely. Gives to Goodrich underneath. Shot up. Good. 42 points for Goodrich.
When we hit the floor and finally matched up at the center circle, I saw a look in the eye of the opposition that I hadn't seen in the opposition all season long. And there was one of commitment. They were playing for more. They were playing for much more than just the crown. I think back then, even though it wasn't discussed or written about very much, it was five basically who people considered were Southern whites playing against five inner city blacks.
Pat Riley, great foul shooter at the line for the University of Kentucky Wildcats. Shot good. Texas Western will put the ball in play. Bobby Joe Hill, 5'10", the playmaker for this fine Texas Western team, the underdogs in this game. He'll set up to play. Underneath to Latin, he scores! Kentucky down court with the ball. High post, feed off to the right side. Dampier shoots, good. Bobby Joe Hill, great playmaker. Looks around to someone to feed to. Flournoy gets the ball underneath, easy layup. Kentucky with their hands full. Wildcats bring it down. Bobby Joe steals the ball. Here comes Hill. Hill in close. He scores. The crowd loving Bobby Joe Hill's great steal. Kentucky once again bringing the ball up to midcourt. Bobby Joe Hill on the guard. He steals again. Bobby Joe Hill a breakaway. Scores. Kentucky fighting to stay in the game. Crone gets the ball to Giraz. Giraz moves across the left side. Feed is off to Riley. Good. Texas Western in command. Bobby Joe Hill with the basketball. Feeds a high pass to Latin. Latin turns. Texas Western on the way to an upset here tonight. Pass off to the left side toward the baseline. Turnaround. The give is back deep. Coming across the top. The feed off to Bobby Joe Hill. He drives toward the basket. Shot up good.
Now that I look back on it, and actually one of my players, Bob McAdoo, who played for me not too long ago, said that that game meant the difference between where he was going to go to school. He said it was okay then for Southern blacks to go to North Carolina or to go to schools in the South, which at that time didn't have many black players. And it was almost a breakthrough, I think, for a lot of the kids.
For me, the 60s meant the whole phenomena of black pride, black consciousness. I felt that very strongly.
Now the two championships that we had won in '64 and '65, and the fact that Pauley Pavilion was opening up in '66, I'm sure, were the reasons, or among the reasons, that Louis Alcindor came to UCLA.
Coach Wooden really was, if you, to phrase it most simply, he was like my kind of guy. He was very direct, he was very honest. He didn't pull any punches. He had a sense of humor, but he was about discipline. And I identified with all of those values. He put it in terms of he didn't expect us to do anything that he couldn't do. But, you know, here he was, an A student and a college All-American.
I define success as peace of mind, which can be attained only through self-satisfaction in knowing that you made the effort to do the best of which you're capable.
Lou Alcindor was a sophomore that season, and we had never seen anything like that before. Just warming up, we knew we were in serious trouble when we saw that giant walk out and saw what he could do and his reputation. Of course, the night before, he had played Elvin Hayes in the big matchup of that tournament, and had handled them pretty easily too. So we figured we had done the best we could.
Hooper giving to Don May on the right side. May looks, gives in the corner to Klaus. To Sadlier on the right side, and the pivot to Glender Terrain. He fakes, puts up his shot, blocked by Alcindor, and he pulls it out of the air. And here is Shackelford getting open with 15 feet, missed the shot, tap-tipped in the air, and good by the little guy, Warren. Here's May with it, tries a jump shot off the side, no good. And Don May has lost that magic touch tonight. He put on the greatest show of the tournament last night when he hit 11 shots in a row at one stage. Warren gets a step on Hooper, makes it, and Hooper fouls him. 64-42. UCLA battles back. Off on the right corner, it goes to Shackelford, into Alcindor. Alcindor flips it outside to Warren. Off to Allen. Here's Shackelford wide open with a 15-footer, beauty. On the right side to Shackelford, back out to Warren. Warren gives back to Shackelford, into Alcindor. Alcindor turns with his jumper, hits it. Alcindor goes out, holding up a victory sign, shakes hands with Coach Johnny Wooden.
We'd only lost to Houston by 2 points in their home, with a lot of emotion on their side, and I had definitely a subpar performance because I was coming off of an eye injury. We had everything to prove. We had been out of the first place ranking. Houston had been given first place ranking, so we had everything to win, and they had a lot to lose, and they weren't prepared to play.
No question about it, UCLA is the best team. Ball is tipped out, goes to Warren. Warren behind the back, moves the ball to the left side, taking his time, gives to Shackelford. Around one man on the baseline, shot up, bullseye. Vern Lewis dribbles down court for Houston, ball deflected, but Chaney picks it up. Chaney's on, pass is blocked, taken away by UCLA. Coming down court, Lucius Allen on the left-hand dribble. He's underneath, great feed, Lynn shot good.
We won the regular season ACC, and they said, before you go to the NCAA, you must win the tournament. And that didn't seem fair to have to prove it all over again. And then we won the tournament. And I remember saying, we're just thrilled to be in the NCAA tournament, and anything that happens is gravy.
Alcindor gets the opening tip. Wooden going for his 4th championship here tonight. Ball in the middle of the court to Warren. Warren goes left, then right. Now dribbles toward the baseline. Goes to the baseline, may shoot. No, instead gives back to Shackelford. Shackelford, top of the lane. Coming down the middle, Allen shoots. Good! North Carolina's Larry Miller, the All-American in the corner. Shot is up. No doubt about it, UCLA's game. There's a stolen pass. Ball down court. Feed is off to Allen at the corner. It's good!
This is truly a great basketball team. I've been reluctant to say so earlier in the year, but I believe at our best we're the finest basketball team that has ever played college basketball.
My senior year in 1969, people just didn't think that we were going to lose, and we didn't.
Boilermakers on the attack. Billy Keller setting things up. Purdue trailing now to George Farber. Rick Mount on the pick. It's up. Good. Bruins with the lead. Heights with the dribble. Into Alcindor. 2 more. Curtis Rowe over the timeline. On the dribble, moving in, spins around. Off the glass, good. It's been a frustrating game for Mount. His shot this time is up and good. Kenny
Johnny Heights. Inside to Rowe, almost stolen. Rowe recovers. Now to Alcindor, the fake. Good move off the glass and good. The Bruins trying to add to their lead. Alcindor back to the basket, gets the ball in the lane. The hook, good. The free throw, no good. Alcindor on the rebound, up, good. And for UCLA, that's 3 straight titles.
When you come on the basketball floor each day for practice, to me, you're a basketball player. In a sense, you're no longer a person or a student at UCLA. You are a basketball player. And I want to relate to you and your teammates as basketball players. And from this group, I want to try to develop the best basketball team we can have. And you're a basketball player the entire practice. As soon as practice is over, the very instant practice is over, you're not a basketball player. You're a student. I never mentioned winning. Now, it didn't mean that I didn't want to win, and what's the common sense of what winning is? Yes, I wanted to too. I wanted to outscore people, yes. But I felt that even that was accomplished better by having my players concentrate on making the most of what they have and then putting that to use with our group.
The coach had me starting off playing in front of artists, and they would just lob the ball over my head, and he would get easy layups. And then I called a timeout and went over to the coach and said, Coach, I can't play in front of him because I'm giving him too many easy baskets, and they can do that all night and we'll lose. So he said, well, play behind him.
Now the Dolphins, Weeda King, over to Morgan. Big Gilmore inside for Jacksonville, takes the pass up the shot. Oh, it's blocked on a great play by Wicks. Here comes UCLA back, Curtis Rowe. Only one man back for the Dolphins. Over to Vallely, into Patterson, the layup, good. Rowe, Patterson, now to Wicks. His shot is up. Jacksonville with the ball as the Bruins close in on a 4th straight national title. Inside, Artis Gilmore. And again, oh, Wicks blocks the shot.
And then the coach said, starting tonight would be so-and-so. I started reading off the names, and he excluded Curtis' name and my name. And I looked at Curtis and said, well, what's going on? And he said, I don't know, but we're going to find out, right? I said, yeah, okay. So then when everyone walked out, we went up to Coach Wood and said, what's wrong? He said, you guys were 2 minutes late to the pregame meal. We said, whoa, that's why we're not playing tonight? He said, that's why you're not going to start.
I used to tell my players, for example, now don't expect me to treat you all alike. I will not treat you all alike. I'm going to try to give each one of you the treatment you earn and deserve. And I'll have to make the judgment on that, and I could be wrong. But I know that, in my opinion, the most, or the surest way to show partiality is to treat everybody alike.
UCLA's Henry Bibby pulls up with a jump shot. It's there. UCLA in a full court press. Patterson intercepts, gives to Bibby. Bibby's jumper, good. Ford takes the ball, gives it over to Inglesby, who's going to throw it inbounds. Throws long, down court. He has Clarence Smith. He pulls up, six-footer, good. Patterson again, good. Inglesby works it down for Villanova. Gives in to Siemiankowski. Puts it up in the air, got it. Schofield on the run, throws to Wicks. Loses the ball, put in by Bibby. A desperation heave is no good. The game's over. UCLA wins 5 in a row, 7 out of 8.
Good luck, Congratulations.
You showed how much I thought of you when I worked hard to get you out of the zone. You knew what
okay. Listen, no problem. I understand. Very good. Congratulations.
Coach Wooden, he has this great image and this great persona about him. But really, he's greater than his image.
Florida State's Greg Samuels runs it down, pulls up in the corner to Ron King, lets it fly, got it. Wilkes passes into Walton, takes it back, goes in, scores. Greg Lee passes to Wilkes, turnaround jumper, got it. Coles drives, Walton picks him up, gives to Royals, got it. The UCLA press is on. There's a loose ball. Curtis has got it for UCLA. Moves over, passes into Bibby. It's no good. Holifield tips it in. UCLA wins 81-76, another national title.
Don't get carried away because you're doing well as a basketball player. That's a short period of your life, and even if you play professional basketball, when that's over, the vast majority of your life, the years of your life, are still going to be ahead of you.
For UCLA. Holyfield into Walton. He turns up good. Tigers need a bucket. Over to Larry Finch. Inside Keenan and the jumper. Bruins looking for Walton. Inside again for 2. Oh, what a game it's been for Bill Walton. Craig Lee inside. Oh, look at that pass and Walton. It's been the Bill Walton show here in St. Louis tonight, and there he is. UCLA has done it. They said it couldn't be done. They've won 7 in a row and 9 out of 10.
We became worried with the dominance of UCLA that the people would lose interest in the NCAA tournament when one team is going to win it all the time.
Well, the semifinal game against North Carolina State, when we had a good lead a number of times, and we just couldn't hold on to that lead. And, you know, we like to say that we beat ourselves. I'm sure the people in North Carolina say they whipped us, but that was a very, very tough loss for us, and one that I'll never forget or ever get over.
Double overtime. What a game. Here the Wolfpack. It's David Thompson moving in, and the jumper's good. It's the end of a dynasty. Bull Rivers again to David Thompson. It's up. Good. To Maurice Lucas on the turnaround. Into David Thompson. At midcourt, Monty Tao. North Carolina State setting up Spence to Tom Burleson. Oh, look at that domination. A battle. Thompson fighting, and Spence grabs it. Goaltending. They're calling goaltending, and that'll count. Now Al McGuire's up. McGuire's on the court, and he gets a technical. There's the little man.
Whatever success we've had, I have to give a lot of the credit to Coach Wooden, because I learned so much about basketball from him and about teaching, and that's what coaching is. It's basically teaching.
8 seconds to go. The Bruins must score. Marcus Johnson, Richard Washington, 3 seconds. He scores. The Bruins win it.
That's John Wooden. This is the great coach's last game, trying for championship number 10. Here is Myers going up for a jump shot. It's there. Kentucky's Jimmy Dan Connor hands the ball to Kevin Greavy. Greavy moves to the top of the key, slides off to the left, puts up a left-hander that's there. UCLA's Pete Turgevich brings it down, passes off to Richard Washington. Washington kicks it back out to Drollinger. Drollinger from the top of the key, lets it go. It's there. Turgevich brings it down for UCLA. Passes back out. Andre McCarter with the ball. Coach Johnny Wooden close to that 10th national championship. Here drives McCarter. It's good. And Coach Johnny Wooden completes 27 years of coaching, winning his 10th national championship.
I mean, I'm just really proud to say that I was a UCLA basketball player, that we won a championship. We won Coach Wooden's last championship, and that fact in itself is something that I'm probably most proud of, that we were all a part of that last championship together with Coach John Wooden, who's going to go down as the greatest basketball coach in collegiate basketball history.
The person that had the greatest influence on my life was my late wife. That was my high school sweetheart, and my wife for 53 years before I lost her, but my sweetheart for 60 years, and was the reason for my staying in school probably when things were difficult from a financial point of view, and the support that she gave me all through my years of teaching.
Indiana had a great team. I did their championship game when two Big Ten teams played in Philadelphia, Michigan and Indiana for the national title. That was Bobby Knight's undefeated team.
We had played them twice that year. They had blew us out one time, and one time we had took them to the wire, and they had a great team.
Coach Bob Knight signals for one of his players, Tom Abernathy, to come over as Knight tries to win his first national championship. Indiana on defense. Quinn Buckner makes a steal, heads for the other end all alone, lays it up and in. Indiana's Jim Wisman moving the ball in backcourt, passes off to Scott May, drives to the baseline, puts it up and in. Abernathy with the ball into Benson, turnaround jumper, good. Indiana wins 86-68. The Hoosiers go 32-0.
77, we had gone to Atlanta in the Final Four, and I'd never seen such media coverage. It's like the Super Bowl. And then in 72, we were in Los Angeles, and there wasn't hardly any interest. You only had maybe 1 or 2 press conferences. So somewhere, from my standpoint, between 72 and 77, the entire event, the Final Four, changed a great deal.
10 seconds left. Cornbread Maxwell, he'll take the shot. Frederick Maxwell. The inbounds pass is not an easy one. There's the long pass. Whitehead, go! Jerome Whitehead. Is it good? It counts. It is good. Marquette Al McGuire has won. He goes to the finals.
For the Dynamite season, okay? Stay alive on the bench. Play to the best of your ability. That's all anybody can ask them.
Don't let us know if you retire. All of us here together. We're going to do it.
Ford up with his jumper. He hits it and scores 14-13. 3:55. Short jumper. Rebound up by Bo Ellis. Ellis has it 27-18. To Michael Carr and his jumper. He hits it. 14 and a half minutes to play in the national championship game. There's Davis. He has it. Game tied. 43-all. Marquette steals the ball. Down to Butch Lee. Lee goes for the layup and has it. 63-55. And Marquette has won the national championship. That was Dean Smith who came down.
We had fought hard and played just a lot of great basketball games that season. We practiced hard every day. I think that season we didn't have one bad practice, and that's very unusual for a basketball team to go a whole season without having a bad practice. I think when you have a team that has a lot of seniors, people who have had experience playing basketball, and when you know each other, it makes it a lot easier.
The way he plays the game, he's solid, consistent, works hard. Tipped in by Gibbons. He is everywhere.
They'll shoot somebody.
Gibbons had it knocked away, controls it, and he scores it. Has he been sensational? Roby trying for Kentucky to add to its lead. It's Gibbons again. Oh! He has 21 points to match his number in this first half. You hear him chanting in the background, goose, goose, goose. And he needs 2 on 1. Put it in court. James Lee, a power dunk, and that's going to be it. The University of Kentucky are the basketball champions of the National Collegiate Athletic Association.
Larry Bird was 16 for 19 against us. It wasn't that his scoring was so bad or so great. It was what he passed off. I remember telling the players, you know, he attracts everybody to him. Don't everybody go to him, because if you leave your man, he's going to find the open man, which he did for the final basket also, the basket that beat us.
Both teams sort of represented America in different ways. You had the Cinderella of Indiana State, and them being unbeaten, and everybody not thinking they have a chance. And then you have a super great player in Larry Bird, you know, carrying them. And then I think our team were we come from the Big Ten and got a lot of publicity.
You know, a lot of people were surprised yesterday, Larry, when you mentioned that you played ball with Magic Johnson in the World Invitational Tournament.
Well, you know, me and Magic played together in that game, and, you know, it's funny because Magic's such a great passer, but he wouldn't give me the ball. And, you know, and I need the ball.
Well, I hope he don't think I'm going to pass it to him tonight either, but I thought I passed him the ball. Maybe he forgot it. Or
Here's the great player Bird. Reed open. Indiana State takes the early lead. Rebound Johnson. Magic Johnson with the ball. Oh, he scores! And he is fouled. Look at Urban Magic Johnson. Bird. Oh, what a shooter. Michigan State with the ball and the lead. Magic Johnson from 15.
Anytime Larry Bird touches it, there are about 3 people in his area.
Bird, Johnson, 3-on-1.
Here it comes.
The alley-oop to Greg Kelser. Long pass to Kelser. The coup de grace. 12, 11. Well, that Reed has hit 3 long.
Oh, there's the pass.
Look at Johnson. It's all over. Michigan State University, national champions, 1979. They chant that cry on every campus in every sport. Everyone wants to be number 1.
The whole world is watching. The whole world is watching.
Because of the publicity that I was getting coming out of high school and so forth, I had a press conference announced that I was going to the University of Louisville. And at that time, which was in 1976, I made a commitment to the city on national TV that we would win a national championship.
We had such a young team. We started 1 freshman and 3 sophomores, and Darrell Griffith was our only senior starter. And I think the funny part about that team was that they drew their strength from Darrell Griffith. They were very young, inexperienced. Nobody thought we had a chance to win it. I didn't even think we had a chance to win it.
2 minutes left in a low-scoring first half. Griffith, good fake. Oh, my, what a play.
Kiki came over and tried to intimidate him, but he just knocked over Kiki.
Foster all the way. He scores. There's a little one-on-one, folks. Darrell Griffith. Oh, what a shot. Griffith. Not there and banned away. He's done a job in the second half on the board. Long pass to Sanders. Oh, great catch. The intensity in the faces of the athletes. Lob. And oh, yes. You want to catch that one. I think it's a wise move by UCLA to try the zone a little bit because you figured Griffith was going to try to take Holton one-on-one.
Excellent move, but he's going to shoot.
And hit. Darrell Griffith, the leading scorer in the game with 21 points. Griffith looking to tie.
Get back. Now the man will shoot. Told you the man would shoot that time.
Louisville unique all season long. They made the opposition play 94 feet. Constant pressure. And part of Louisville's success is they've worn down opponents, forced mistakes. And there's another. Denny Crum at age 42 will be the coach of the national champions in 1980. Larry Brown fighting like that terrier down to that final second. And there's the most valuable player, Darrell Griffith.
Ladies and gentlemen, if I could have your attention for just a moment. The National Collegiate Athletic Association wants you to know that the condition of President Reagan is reported as good. He is out of surgery, and the prognosis for a complete recovery is excellent.
25-24. Hey, North Carolina's passing lanes are getting farther and farther apart. Time for one to be picked off if they're not careful.
I think Carolina.
There it is, the turnover.
Jimmy Thomas saves it. Isaiah and Tolbert, and he is fouled. There's your official clock. Thomas with the ball.
Isaiah's going to take Jimmy Black. He's got 2 fouls on him.
Whitman at the buzzer. Indiana leads 27-26. 63-50. Isaiah Thomas, when it comes down, Indiana will be champion.
We had 4 returning starters, and then we had a freshman, the name of Michael Jordan, come in for Al Wood. Now, Michael, as great as he was as a freshman, wasn't as good as Al Wood was as a senior. But yet those other players improved so much, they were determined to come back and win the National after finishing second the year before.
This is a great one. 56 all. Michael Jordan has led both teams in rebounding tonight, and he got in again on another offensive rebound. 57-56, Carolina. We're seeing a little 4 corners look right here. Worthy out to Jordan. This is a half of a 4 corners. 5:41 to go. North Carolina sitting on it. Ewing's got to be careful. He has 3 fouls. Playing Perkins. Black almost lost it. And he's fouled by Ewing, and that's 4. Patrick Ewing has to be careful, and John Thompson calling a great timeout here. Out to Gene Smith. They don't want him shooting. He's not that good a shooter from outside. Ewing's going to try it. And it's a 1-point ball game with 2.5 minutes to go. Long. That wasn't even close. And now Georgetown can take the lead. I figure Sleepy Floyd's going to go for the jumper. Is he ever? Fake beautifully once, twice, gets a roll. They are not going to come out and chase, and North Carolina now cannot go to the 4 corners. With that odd point, we're going for a game-winning or a losing shot, and Dean Smith asks and gets timeout. That was the 15th lead change we've had in this ball game.
We took the timeout, and with 30 seconds to play, and we were running what we call our 2 offense, and that is to go into James, but I thought he would be covered, and I said, Jimmy, look cross court to Michael, and as they got up, I said, Michael, you'll knock it in, and he smiled.
They couldn't get the ball inside to myself or Sam. Michael had an open jumper. He took the shot with about 7 seconds left to go, which would have allowed us to at least get an offensive rebound, but you could just tell once he went up, he was confident. His tongue was out. Usually when that tongue was out, it's good.
About that time, he saw me over in the corner, and he threw it to me. And without hesitation, I just took the shot. I felt I was open. I felt confident, and I felt within range.
Gordy to Black. The time, 18. Shot, Jordan. Michael Jordan. 14 seconds. Brown. Look for Sleepy Floyd. Oh, he threw it to the wrong man. He threw it to Worthy. It's over. It's over. He's fouled by Eric Smith. Fred Brown somehow or another threw the ball into the hands of James Worthy. Look at Dean Smith, totally in control. Everybody going crazy. And North Carolina has won the 1982 NCAA championship.
we wanted to do it for Coach Smith. A great coach deserves a NCAA championship.
In 1983, in the Final Four, the Louisville-Houston game involved the Phi Slamma Jammas versus the Louisville team that had a bunch of big running and jumping players too. They dunked so many balls in that game, the official underneath the basket felt like he was in a blitzkrieg in London because the missiles kept coming through that basket one after the other, and they went back and forth at one stretch of that game for 3 or 4 minutes and had nothing but dunks. I mean, monstrous dunks. And we were just running on the baseline, getting out of the way like it was a bomb coming after us.
Survive and advance, survive and advance. After we won, if you'd call us in the locker room, come and say, oh, by the way, you have to play 2 more games. Kids, fine, let's go. You know, we just kept playing until there was no one else to play.
North Carolina State, they feel they're a team of destiny. They've come from behind so many times. They've been called the cardiac kids. They won 5 come from behind games in a row to get to the final 16. They got to do it again.
They better be careful here. Nobody guarding the inbounds passer. Queen wisely comes back.
In the second half, North Carolina State shooting 26%, Houston 50.
That's a little far to Sidney Lowe, but he hits it anyway.
Houston now 10 of 16 from the free throw line, and Lowe is hot. He's got the hot hand. They may have to go to him. 8 points, 52-48.
You have Wittenberg wide open in the corner.
Oh, and it's a 2-point game. Here's Hakeem again. Tipped out. That was McQueen who got a hand on it. Here comes Lowe. Lowe. Wittenberg. He can tie it up.
Got to drive to the basket. It's down to 7 seconds.
You can see the time. Wittenberg. Oh, that's a long ways.
They won it. On the dunk.
This is the thing for which the players, the coaches, the fans, this is what you gear your season towards. This is what you work for. That's the excitement. You know, that's the artist's best picture. You know, that's the writer's best story. That's the coach's best game. That's what you want in the NCAA tournament.
We were a lot like a family. We all stuck together. It was us against the world. That's the way you have to be a good team. Everybody has to be together, and I think that we were, and that's the reason why we were so good.
This is one statistic that Patrick Ewing has a considerable margin over Hakeem Olajuwon, and that's on the free throw line.
He's shooting 165. On the other hand, Hakeem is shooting 53%.
In the lane a little early.
So Georgetown, after trailing by 8, has tied it up. Here's Wingate at the other end.
He and Olajuwon are amazing how they get up down the court.
Reggie Williams, Ewing to follow. Anders is number 33 in red. Ewing.
Sun shot. No question about the accuracy on that one.
Best leaper vertically on the team. Winslow out to Franklin. Hakeem.
Houston stepping that zone out. Doesn't even look anything like what Virginia says.
There's Winslow with a block.
Guy Lewis can't believe it. Tough to chase when you spread the court out this way. Here comes all the way over to Jackson.
Look at the guy that's happy. It's John Thompson.
And the man that he's hugging, Freddie Brown. Remember what 2 years difference makes.
The pass is long forgotten right now by Fred Brown.
You know what's interesting with that picture? He was hugging him when he made the big mistake, too.
Georgetown.
That's the ball game.
The national champions.
I think the Big East Conference is one of the best conferences in America because you never know how a game is going to come out. And when the season is over, you say, it's over with. Now we can get in the NCAA tournament. I don't have to see these guys anymore. And then here we come marching to the Final Four. As soon as we get to the Final Four here, 3 Big East teams there. And I said, oh, my God.
It's something that the players will always remember. And people may forget, you know, well, who won it in '85, who won it in '86. But the individuals will never forget the feeling of stepping on that court. Hey, we're here.
There's a lot of hoopla going around. You know, there are all kinds of scouts and people in from all over the country. The media from all over the country that is there. It's really exciting. And then you have college basketball fans who are probably the craziest fans in the country. You've got guys with their faces painted and basketballs on top of their heads and all kinds of things.
We're going to play this game to win instead of playing not to lose, because, you know, we were the Cinderella team, and everyone said, oh, geez, it's really great. We're going back. They were going to get kissed by their girlfriends and then loved by their moms because we got to the final two. We were going to already had the parade all set up, so we couldn't cancel that. So we might as well just go out and play.
Wingate, and the Hoyas lead. They lose it. Bounced off Brodnack's foot, right to Dwayne McClain, and now Villanova trying to regain the lead.
Raleigh wants a timeout. He wants to set strategy. Excellent move by Raleigh Massimino.
Brodnack's having to help out inside. Jensen puts Villanova ahead at the 2:35 mark.
Being behind, Villanova can't go Georgetown can't go four corners.
Wingate has lost it. Pinckney is fouled. This is the last college game for Patrick Ewing at Georgetown. The end of an era. 3 times in 4 years, he has brought him to the title game. And for Ed Pinckney, his last game, they've dueled each other for 4 years. Ewing. McClain rebounding. Inside of a minute, drew the foul. And Villanova with a chance to stage one of the greatest upsets in the history of the NCAA championship finals. That's it. Villanova has done it. And I can still see the expressions on the faces of the Villanova players after it ended, when they all went over and they were hugging one another and Raleigh Massimino was in the middle. And I'm not sure that those youngsters realized what they had accomplished. I think they had to sit down and watch the videotape and see for themselves that they had beaten Patrick Ewing and this mighty Georgetown team.
Years ago, the Final Four was different. It was a 32-team field. The regionals were based on teams just from that region. And sometimes the West was not as strong, so teams from the West and the Midwest, by winning 2 games, could get to the Final Four. Now it takes 4 games against teams from all over the United States just to get to the finals.
It wasn't an easy road to the championship, but we had been accustomed to playing that kind of a schedule because we had played most of the top teams in the country already. And when we got into the championship game with Duke, it was to a point where they had won 21 in a row and we were 15 in a row.
Dawkins.
Dawkins went head-to-head against each other.
Wagner lost the ball off his sneaker. Here comes Dawkins, who was fouled.
Duke puts Johnny Dawkins low. It's not often that Wagner sees a guard go low against him.
And then he pops out to the top of the circle.
Brilliant shot. At this pace, Brent, will nobody be able to go the full game at this pace.
Dawkins again. It's a 3-on-1 break for Duke. Dawkins.
Great.
And Thompson
Billy
stays with it, comes out with a rebound, and here's Ellison.
What a great defensive play. 3-on-1 stopped by Thompson.
Turnaround.
That's a 4-point turnaround.
It's Wagner misfiring, but Ellison with an aggressive move. Wagner and Allery blocked it, and Ellison cleaned it up.
There it is, a clear out for Dawkins. Good help by Hall.
Jumps in, and it's stolen by Ellison, the center. Ellison, it's a 1-point game. Louisville can go ahead this trip.
Lob.
Wagner. They do. This was the last drill that both of these teams practiced today.
Oh, yeah.
And Dawkins seconds gives Duke the lead. Thompson off a nice fake. They must hurry. Ball takes the shot and misfired, but Ellison was there. It's a free throw for the national championship. Louisville will win it. The Cardinals have won the national championship. Denny Crum does it again. 4 times in the last 7 years to the Final Four.
The game evolves. You know, the players keep getting better and the coaches get more sophisticated and the officials have to keep getting better too. The rules changes, I think, for the most part, have helped the game progress. They went to the shot clock, as everyone knows, a couple of years ago to keep the games from being totally stalled, and now we have the three-point play.
Alford's three. Douglas penetrates and gets it. The Orangemen come out.
Have Trish.
He wanted it, Trish. It's off the cut. It's Smart again. Alford tied up. Wanted Smart. Got it taken away by the Orange defense, and Douglas comes away with it. Would you believe the move? Syracuse leads.
Cycling open. Garrett's pushing.
They had 26 left on the 45, and they went right now, and Smart comes back at the other end. Tied at 70.
Thomas tried to draw the foul.
Trish gets it to fall, and inside of a minute, Syracuse leads.
Short.
He misses that one. Smart has it, dribbles it out. Smart comes up inside of Monroe, hits the 2. And a quick timeout is called at the 30-second mark. A smart play by Smart. He's short. Indiana can win it.
And they decide to put Douglas on Alford. And they go man-to-man.
Smart takes the shot. And the Hoosiers with 3 seconds. Go ahead.
Nobody stopped the clock. Nobody stopped the clock. There it goes.
Indiana wins the championship. Keith Smart is the hero. Oklahoma, a #1 seed, will be wearing their home whites, and the Jayhawks in their traveling blue. You might recall they broke out those red uniforms a couple of years ago in Dallas. They have stored them away forever. Loose off the tap, control Oklahoma. And they put up the first field goal. Mookie Blaylock at 2. Just a few moments ago, Larry Brown addressed this team and said, don't be afraid of winning. They dump to Manning on the jump hook turnaround. He's 2 for 2. And Seager brings it back out and guns the 3. Here's Pritchard. And Pritchard puts the Jayhawks back ahead. The Sooners are not getting easy field goals here so far in this game. Now the 3 by Seager, a great outside shooter. Running through without the ball. Lob pass to Manning.
Can Manning do any more? You know, he's had a game in the first 10 minutes.
Grant on that quick turnaround. Again, Oklahoma gets a turnover, and that's number 7 in the turnover department for the Jayhawks. But Pritchard goes and forces one himself, and that's 5 by the Sooners, so not a huge advantage. Now Newton down. Wrap around. Beautiful shot by Newton. Now on the turnover, Manning goes for the home run. Millimore for the layup. Oklahoma with an opportunity to go ahead, and Seager hits another 3. For Dave Seager, number 6. They didn't get it to him, so Newton will take a 3 and tie it. Steal by Manning. He'll put it down. Here we go. King loses the handle. Grace back up, and Oklahoma ties it. This youngster has an inoperable tumor, and for the last few years he has been very close to the Jayhawks. He is a neighbor of Coach Larry Brown, and Larry has been voted the Sports Leader of the Year by the Special Olympics. Into King.
There he was.
Ties it at 54.
Cook for the lead. The next to fall would be Oklahoma if they keep it up. Piper, Normore penetrates, drops it off to Piper at the buzzer.
They use the entire 45.
The son of Ed Manning is now the second greatest scorer in the history of NCAA tournament play. He has put the Jayhawks up by 3. 14 seconds to go. The Kansas Jayhawks have beaten all odds. They have lost more games than any champion in the history of the NCAA.
You have your neighborhood team and you pull for them to get into that tournament, win a couple of games, and then if you get on a roll, get to the Final Four. It's the American dream to win the NCAA basketball championship.
What makes college athletics is the unquenchable spirit, if you will, of the young people that year after year come into college athletics. That's what makes it so exciting. It's youth, it's vigor, the unpredictability of competition of 18 to 21-year-old athletes.
Walter is really the architect of the tournament, and whatever the tournament is today is to his credit. First of all, he envisioned the tournament that it would be very appropriate to have a Division I basketball championship. Secondly, he put the tournament in motion, first without television, later with television, engineered the whole thing from start to finish.
It's the greatest day in college basketball, that Saturday afternoon doubleheader of 4 great teams, and all the excitement as the Final Four begins.
The 4 best collegiate teams in the country.
It's top of the mountain.
Something like a dream come true, being able to get there.
It surpasses the Indianapolis Speedway, the Kentucky Derby, the World Series, the Super Bowl.
You look in the dictionary, look it up, it'll say NCAA tournament.
It's the single most exciting event in American sport.
Excitement, fun, enjoyment, memories.
You see the players and you see the look in their faces, they just know that it's that they're involved in something that they will remember the rest of their lives.
Like any other player on any NCAA championship team, it's a feeling that you'll never forget.
We're talking memories. We're talking good memories.
There's no other feeling like it.
That big fat ring I wear on my finger.
You know, I smiled. I mean, I got one. I got there, and we won it all.
To win it, that's heaven.